What's up, everybody? It's your boy Joshua Edwards, live from Brooklyn, New York. This is Panthers Pride Television. We are almost in the third month of the 2025 year. Make sure you guys are crushing out your goals. Make sure that you are doing everything that you said you wanted to. Write out your goals, make them plain, and let's go ahead and jump right into it. Okay, so what was the one thing that I have said? I want you guys to reiterate and put it in the chat. What is the main thing that I've been talking about free agency? There's two things that's going on. Either the team is going to have all the leverage or the player that is hitting the market has all the leverage. There's a situation with the Cleveland Browns. Myles Garrett literally has all the leverage. They are willing to pay him more money than he's getting currently. He said, nah, dog, it's not about the money. I want to have the ability to win. And then you look at other situations where it's Jermaine Pratt has zero leverage at all. T. Higgins doesn't really have enough leverage to really move or go to another team because he's possibly going to get franchise tag. And then there's other situations like Sheldon Rankins. So I know that the biggest issue with the Carolina Panthers is outside of the secondary is defensive line. I know that last year we revamped the offensive linemen with adding at our guard position. And what was the biggest difference on the offensive side? We were able to protect Bryce Young more at the offensive line spot. Well, there's this guy, Sheldon Rankins, who has officially gotten cut by the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, you guys know I have been linking several Cincinnati key players to the Panthers. Jermaine Pratt, Trey Hendrickson, and now the latest, Sheldon Rankins. Sheldon Rankins only played 7 games this season, 1 sack, 1 tackle for loss, 1 QB hit, and 18 total tackles. But even when he was at his worst, he's better than Shy Tuttle. Now, if you pair Sheldon Rankins with Derek Brown, I think this is what you were trying to look for with the A'Shawn Robinson and a Derek Brown, or really technically a Shy Tuttle and a Derek Brown. If you just look at these numbers right here, currently speaking, who is the better player? Sheldon Rankins is night and day better than Shy Tuttle. Played 8 less games than him, had more sacks, had more tackles for losses, and had the same amount of QB hits. Now, I'm not saying Sheldon Rankins is going to be a world beater. I'm not saying Sheldon Rankins is going to move the needle when it comes to establishing the pressure with the Carolina Panthers. But what I am saying is him being an addition to a bad defensive line is going to cause havoc. Like, you're going to get him to plug the run. The thing that's interesting about a defensive line is the total amount of tackles you have really doesn't indicate the type of significance that you have had on a defense. Sheldon Rankins, if he is partnered with D. Brown in the 1 or 3 technique, is going to cause some disruption in the running game. I've said it time and time again. Derek Brown, when he's on the field, is a top 3 defensive tackle. Had the most tackles in NFL history from a defensive tackle spot. Should have been first-team All-Pro. And you pair him with another vet like a Sheldon Rankins, a guy that's going to know how to use leverage, a guy that's going to know how to establish or re-establish the offensive line. Like, he's going to get enough pressure, partner that up with D. Brown, man, and it's something that you are actually looking for. Shy Tuttle, he's out of here. A'Shawn Robinson, I'm going to get to him just in a couple more minutes. But these are 2 guys that, currently speaking, we need to establish some type of dominance when it comes to the Carolina Panthers defensive line. If you look at the good days where we were actually something to revere, we had a Chris Jenkins, we had a Julius Peppers, we had a Coney Ely, we had a I can't think of the other guy right now, but we had enough Jared Allens. We had other guys that were able to reestablish the line of scrimmage, and Sheldon Rankins partnered up with Derek Brown is going to reestablish the line of scrimmage. So I think he is a better upgrade. He's going to be cheaper. He's almost 30 years of age. He's not going to be a guy that's going to command 3 years, $54 million. Nah, 2 years, $15 million. And if you want to get your money and you still feel like you got some valuable football left to play, come down to Carolina. We're looking for guys. We are literally adding to the market. So I'm looking really forward to when free agency first starts in March. Oh my goodness, it's going to be a fire sale. But transition just a little bit. You guys know about the cap casualties that I've been talking about. We just recently cut this bum, Dane Jackson, who established or really gave us $3.3 million in cap money. Now there's another guy that we just cut, A'Shawn Robinson. A'Shawn Robinson, we cut him, and so we saved $5.5 million towards this salary cap. Now, if you look at him compared to Shy Tuttle, he was dominant. Don't get me wrong. A'Shawn Robinson is somebody that I believe is better than Sheldon Rankins currently speaking. But if we're looking to trim the fat and save money, he is a cap casualty. 8 QB hits, 5.5 sacks this past season, 8 tackles for losses, and 16 games played. Now, I know that this was the guy that we were looking for when we were thinking him partnered up with Derek Brown. I get all that. But he's older. We are not in a position where we can continue to eat dead or old money. I know Shaq Thompson is going to get cut. A'Shawn Robinson just got cut, and he had damn near a career year this past season. But what is it? We need to free up the money so we can go get some more defensive guys. Milton Williams is going to be an addition to the Carolina Panthers. If we have the ability, we're going to definitely shoot our shot at Javon Holland, the safety from the Miami Dolphins, and Trayvon Moehrig. You know all the takes that I've had about that. But if we're willing to move off a guy in A'Shawn Robinson that gave us 5.5 sacks and 16 games played, there's nobody that's safe on the defensive spot. The only position right now that is safe is Derek Brown and J.C. Horn. And J.C. Horn might be on the trading block. I mean, $5.5 million, you add it towards the salary cap. It's only, I'm just telling y'all what I know. I know for a fact we are going to continue to move off of older defensive pieces in order so that we can revamp the defensive line in free agency and draft guys that fits the status quo. Will Johnson will be a Carolina Panthers. I'm telling y'all, if the Jets don't select him with the 7th pick, with the 8th pick, he's going to be a Carolina Panthers. I'm not telling you what I think. I'm telling you what I know. And obviously, quote unquote, I don't know anything. But I'm just kind of just speaking, face value right now. If we're willing to move off a guy that gave us 5.5 sacks, nobody is safe currently speaking. And since we're talking about the damn NFL, let's talk about the combine. So Dan Morgan and Dave Canales, along with several other GMs and head coaches, are going to be in attendance. I believe that there are going to be multiple interviews that are going to be conducted. You're going to see, so the way that I look at it is, if you are a general manager and a head coach and a guy does not want to go out there and compete at the NFL Combine, that's probably a guy that I'm scratching off my list. If you're a highly touted defensive end, defensive tackle, and you're not going out here and doing the drills, at least, even if you don't want to run the 40, if you don't do a bench press, and if you don't have the confidence to go out there and do a drills, let's go ahead and scratch him off, man. He's not really the competitor for me. So you're going to see Will Johnson do drills. You're probably not going to see Abdul Carter do drills. You might see, Trayvon Walker do drills. You might see Mike Green do drills, a couple defensive ends. But if they are not doing drills, I don't want them on my team. This is the time that you go out there and compete. If you can go out there and compete in the Senior Bowl, you need to be able to go out here and compete at the NFL Combine. They now allow fans to come in and watch the NFL Scouting Combine. So if you're not going out here doing the drills, not going through the motions, testing really well, if you're doing all those, I want you. But if you can't go out here and compete at the NFL Combine, I don't want you. That's just what it's going to come down to. So I really hope as Dan Morgan and Dave Canales goes to the NFL Combine, the guys that are on their board, that they go out there and they compete, man, and that they answer questions. To me, the NFL Combine is all about going out there and competing and showcasing your skills. I don't know why these guys nowadays, they don't want to throw anymore. All they want to do is just wait to their pro day to do their numbers. Nah, dog. Let's go out here and compete. You're literally vying for a draft spot. You're vying for the number 1 pick. I pray that Travis Hunter goes out here and competes at the Combine. I pray Abdul goes out here and compete at the NFL Combine. That's what it's for. If you're not going to compete, stop accepting these invitations. So Dan Morgan, Dave Canales, the guys that you are looking for, if they are not out there competing, you need to cancel them and scratch them off of your draft boards moving forward.